So I want to talk next about nicotine, which is a legal psychostimulant. Nicotine is delivered, of course, by inhalation, the most common route of nicotine administration, generally through smoking cigarettes or cigars or pipe smoking. According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, approximately 70 million Americans smoke on a regular basis. And this is an extremely rapid, fast delivery method for nicotine. Nicotine actually reaches the central nervous system in only about 7 seconds. So from the time you actually inhale on a cigarette, it's only 7 seconds later before that drug is actually acting at receptors in the central nervous system. And as we've seen with other drugs, like other psychostimulants, for example, methamphetamine or smoked crack cocaine, for example, fast delivery is actually linked to increased dependence liability, increased risk of addiction. The drug is metabolized in the liver ultimately and excreted. One thing to mention about smoking as a means for administering any drug is that there are compounds that are produced by the burning of the leaves. This will be true also of marijuana cigarettes as well, that are called tars. And these tars actually are carcinogenic and can promote the development of cancer. So that's why lung cancer rates are higher in individuals who smoke. Another important thing to remember about nicotine is that it's actually a very toxic compound. It's actually toxic at relatively low doses, only about 60 milligrams. Can be fatal, actually. So one pack of cigarettes actually contains several lethal doses. But what smokers tend to do is they tend to do what we call titration. They actually titrate or maintain within very narrow limits a precise level of nicotine circulating in their blood. And they do this, of course, by inhalation, by inhaling under certain circumstances. When the level starts to rise too high, they stop puffing for a bit. If the level starts to drop, they take a deeper puff. So it's often done completely without any conscious awareness, but they manage through their behavior to maintain a very constant circulating level of the drug that's within a safe range, at least in terms of its toxicity. This actually became a major issue when the government realized that these low nicotine cigarettes, right, which were being marketed for a period of time, actually weren't helping people quit cigarettes. They were actually worsening the chance that these individuals would actually develop cancer, because when if they're used to a certain level of nicotine circulating in the blood and the cigarette doesn't have as much nicotine, they would take far deeper drags and hold the smoke in for a longer period of time, exposing their lungs for a longer period of time and deeper in the lungs to these carcinogenic compounds called tars. So those particular cigarettes are not particularly helpful in terms of your health.